Hey, it's Tom. Welcome to the GCN Show, live from the Assos store, London.
Hei, jeg heter Gjorbjørn Andersen. Jeg er in Assos store, London. Welcome to GCN Show. Hi, my name is Gjorbjørn Andersen, and I am in the Assos store in London. And welcome to the GCN Show.
Hi, my name is Will. I'm in Assos, London. Welcome to the GCN Show.
Hi, this is Lorraine. I'm Steve, and we're in the Assos store in London. Welcome to the GCN Show.
From Assos London, welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show direct from the Assos store in London.
This week we are wrapping up the last of the spring classics down in the Ardennes. We show you how to get the flow, and we're also discussing finish line etiquette.
Yeah, we have got Tech of the Week from CiCLE. I'm not sure quite how appropriate some of it is for the GCN Show. And then we've got all of our usuals as well, including Pointless Chainkeeper of the Week, thanks to Dan. Is it a hack or bodge this week, mate?
There are always hacks.
Let's do it.
It's a bodge, mate.
The cycling world was left shocked, saddened and grieving at the weekend after the tragic loss of professional cyclist Michele Scarponi. The 37-year-old Italian rider had been training near his home where he grew up and started cycling when he was knocked off by a van.
Yeah, he'd only finished the Tour of the Alps just 24 hours earlier, where he'd won the opening stage as well as finishing 4th overall, and was due to lead his team Astana in the forthcoming Giro d'Italia before his life was cut all too short.
Yeah, tributes to Scarponi flooded in by the thousand, and even reading just a small fraction of them showed the extent to which he was valued and admired by peers around the world, and even those who didn't really know him all that well either.
That's right, he was described as generous, the joker of the bunch, incredibly kind-hearted, and just a very charismatic character. He'd have been hard pushed to find Scarponi without a smile on his face, and he was as much of an entertainer off the bike as he was on it.
And that's really saying something, because he really did entertain on the bike as well. Back in the early days, he was national champion of Italy at junior level before carrying on for a very long and successful pro career. Now, he won 3 stages of the Giro d'Italia, as well as the overall in 2011. And he was an absolutely superb climber, winning Tirreno Adriatico, the Volta a Catalunya, before becoming a lieutenant for riders such as Vincenzo Nibali and Fabio Aru.
Yeah, Scarponi leaves behind him a wife and 2 children. Indeed, this was the photo that he tweeted just the night before he died. And so it is frankly with a lump in our throats that we offer our sincerest condolences to his family, to his friends and to his teammates, and that's from all of us here at GCN.
Yeah, we shall leave you with this, which is how we think he would probably want to be remembered. This is a video that he tweeted a few months ago, training along as a happy family man on his bike with a local macaw parrot that he had befriended. That macaw parrot was called Frankie, and later at the weekend he was also photoed and pictured at the scene of that terrible accident.
Vieni. Grande Frankie! Allora?
The Ardennes Classic Week came and went with some really impressive victories, notably Anna van der Breggen, who took the first ever women's Triple Crown with a newly resurrected Amstel Gold Race and a brand new women's Liège-Bastogne-Liège.
That's right, it's not been the most impressive season so far for her Bolstormers team, but Van der Breggen showed that she is the force to be reckoned with this week, having won following Amstel Gold, Flèche Wallonne and Liège-Bastogne-Liège solo on all 3 times.
Yeah, strangely, it wasn't just the winner that was the same at all 3 races, the entire podium. So second place to her teammates at each of the races was Lizzie Dylan, with Cassia Nuviadoma in 3rd place at each of them as well. And I think that we can safely say now that the Ardennes week is the blueprint for how men's and women's pro races should coexist. All 3 of them being on. The only thing we're missing now really is a women's Paris-Roubaix for complete parity when it comes to the spring classics.
That would be good, wouldn't it? Now, there was to be no Triple Crown over in the men's events because Philippe Gilbert, of course, tore a kidney.
Kidney?
In Amstel
You said
Gold.
liver.
Well, you wrote liver on the script.
You said liver.
You wrote
It was a kidney. All right, it was a kidney.
Yeah, still get well soon, Phil.
Yeah, obviously that ruled him out of both Liège-Bastogne-Liège and Flèche-Wallonne, unfortunately. But we have to mention, I think, Greg Benavma. He tried to go for an Ardennes monument win off the back of a Paris-Roubaix win, a really, really hard double to achieve. And he did actually get a top 10 in Amstel, didn't he? But fair play to him. I mean, what a stellar ride. Part of the season he's had.
I was relieved he didn't win Liège because I forgot to include him in our top 9 to watch out for there.
Good point.
Yeah, right. There was really only one man this week, though, wasn't there? Alejandro Valverde won both Flèche-Wallonne and Liège-Bastogne-Liège, and frankly, he made both of them look almost effortless. Brilliant to watch, and that was actually his 5th Flèche-Wallonne victory, wasn't it? And his 4th at Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Quite some record.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he benefited from an extremely strong Movistar squad who chased down some very dangerous attacks at both of those races. But let's take nothing away from the man himself. He has suffered in the past by being a marked man as the favourite at the start line, but this year he unleashed an amazing attack with about 500 metres to go, quickly reeled in Dan Martin, leaving him enough space in case he crashed again on the last corner, and then unleashed a devastating sprint. And basically, with about 300 metres to go, there was only ever going to be one winner, wasn't there?
Can you see? I can't see any riders coming through.
No.
The kind of versatility of Alejandro Valverde. I mean, he's hungry and he can just do it all, can't he?
Yeah, he's just so talented, isn't he? I mean, I think his first Ardennes victory was when he was 26 or so, back in 2005, something around that. And when you think of current crop of riders that might fill his space, maybe Julian Alaphilippe? I don't know, but it certainly doesn't seem like anyone's really got quite that talent at the moment.
No, that's right. He really is quite remarkable, isn't he? And also, it takes a lot to win, given that you are the favourite. And he also made the really quite, impressive gesture of donating all his prize money from Liège to the family of Michele Scarponi as well, which I thought was a really nice touch. Now, moving on, the Giro d'Italia is nearly upon us, and for many of the guys going for GC there was one last opportunity to flex their climbing muscles, and that was at the Tour of the Alps, where Welshman Geraint Thomas showed that he is going to be a man to be reckoned with his trajectory for winning the overall. He won stage 3 and then took the overall at the Tour of the Alps, having combined forces with teammate Mikel Landa to take a memorable 1-2 on that stage.
Yeah, and on that particular stage, they did wrestle the jersey from the shoulders of Thibaut Pinot of FDJ, who himself is trying to hone his form ahead of a crack at the Giro rather than the Tour de France. And just look at Thibaut Pinot's record. He won a stage and he didn't finish out the top 5 on every single stage as well. Very, very impressive, looking sharp. But retrospectively, the most poignant moment of the race came on stage 1, when Michele Scarponi took his first victory in 4 years. It was actually the first victory this year for Astana as well.
Meanwhile, the current and defending Giro d'Italia champion Vincenzo Nibali was competing over at the Tour of Croatia. He managed to win that race by virtue of picking up some bonus seconds at an intermediate sprint on the very final day. So that was very exciting.
The CiCLE Classic is the biggest cycling event in the US, with a mix of road, mountain, cross and even e-bike racing. There's also a big trade show attached as well, and a lot of the US brands use it as a launch pad to showcase their new products. Now, our mates from GMBN were out there and they found one product in particular that they thought might be of interest.
Hello, the Dirt Shed. What do you call it? GCN News Show. Right, I'm here at CiCLE and I'm taking a look at some road bike technology for you guys. Well, actually, gravel bike. This is the Fox 32 suspension fork, 40mm travel, designed for gravel bikes. It's called the Adventure Cross. I know you guys love taking your road bikes off-road, and why wouldn't you?
Crumbs, that is, well, how should I put it? Eye-catching.
Yeah, it is indeed. Although I can go one better than that, because Niner were also there with this bike on display. It's the RKT9 RDO. And it's basically a full-on cross-country full suspension mountain bike, but built up with gravel riding in mind. So it's got drop flare bars, a very short stem, and also a left STI lever which controls a dropper seat post.
Now, I get that it's a brave new world, but I can't see the point of suspension on a cross bike or a road bike. If you want to do that sort of riding, get yourself a cross-country mountain bike.
Yeah, and just put bar ends on it.
Exactly.
It is now time for cycling shorts.
Do you ever get fed up when you're out on your bike waiting for lights to turn green?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, so do I. But get this, for cyclists in Utrecht in the Netherlands, that could soon be a thing of the past, due to a revolutionary new system called Flow, which basically tells you how fast you should be riding in order to get the green light.
Yeah, designers Spring Lab describe it as the first personal assistant for cyclists for traffic lights. So, working in conjunction with the local authority, Flow will be put alongside various cycle paths and it will detect a rider's speed. And then with 100 metres to go, that rider will be told whether they need to speed up or slow down using the form of various animals that light up.
Yeah, so if you see a rabbit, then you will need to speed up, whereas if you see a turtle, you will need to slow down. So an interesting twist there on the old tortoise and the hare story. Whereas if you get a thumbs up, that means you're going just the right speed to catch the green light.
It's an interesting concept, but I can't help but wonder why they didn't just use another set of traffic lights. Red to slow down, green to speed up, orange.
Genius.
That is a good point.
It's just an utter genius.
Yeah. My thing is that I wish they'd actually just called it Flow Rider. I think they missed a trick there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, sticking with the Netherlands, albeit slightly loosely, do you remember a few weeks back where we talked about a scientific study from a team in the Netherlands into the effects of drafting on a team pursuit team?
Oh, do you mean from the International Journey of the Study of Physiology and Performance?
Journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
One of our favourites. Well, the lead author on that paper, Levi Hymans, who is himself actually a former world-class track rider, actually got in touch after that GCN show to offer his advice. Do you want to know what he said?
Go on then.
Go for it.
All right. I checked out your crazy and ambitious plans for a world hour record attempt on the Trandom.
Triplet.
Doesn't sound too good, does it?
Well, no, but wait for this. And I want to wish you all the luck, strength and knowledge in the world to make it the performance of your lives.
That's nice. That's really nice, isn't it?
Super nice. But then he did go on to say that a lot of the parallels that we've drawn from his study to our record attempt actually couldn't be drawn because we're going to be sharing, albeit meagre, power output as opposed to being individuals. But one thing he did say is that we should definitely put the rider with the largest frontal area on the front of our triplet.
How are we going to measure that?
I wonder who's got the largest or the smallest frontal area.
No jokes.
No.
Head sizes.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
we are cycling shorts photo with a small
We are
frontal
all
area.
looking pretty narrow.
Yeah.
So news now on the women's racing calendar. Now, on the face of it, it's pretty good news, but also could be perceived as just a little bit gimmicky. Now, the organisers of La Course have added a new event to coincide with the penultimate stage of the Tour de France, which is a time trial in Marseille. So basically, either the top 20 riders from La Course, which finishes on top of the Col d'Izoard, or all riders that finish within 5 minutes of the winner will qualify for this new event. Now, in the new event, riders will be set off in the same order that they finish with the same time gaps.
Right, so that's quite similar then to the new Velon race, isn't it? That's going to be coming in.
It is very similar, apart from the fact these are individual riders and not teams.
Yeah.
But essentially, yes, it is remarkably similar. But I think it could provide us with some very fast and furious racing, but with some really unusual tactics in the mix as well. I mean, what do you think, good or bad?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because the women's calendar definitely needs more good quality road racing. And so there's a part of me that thinks it's coinciding with the Tour de France, but it's not a massive stage race.
Yeah.
It is quite gimmicky. But yet, there is another part of me that's quite excited by the format and genuinely wants to see the results.
Yeah.
So, you know, good and bad.
Bit of both, definitely, I'm the same, I think.
Well, it will be intriguing. Let's hope it is at least televised so we can see whether it is a gimmick or very interesting. Right, there was some controversy at the weekend at a British UCI race called the Rutland Melton CiCLE Classic, where second place finisher Hayden McCormick made a rather rude gesture just behind the winner in the sprint, a certain Dan Fleeman of Metal Tech, formerly of the Cervelo test team.
Very good point, yeah.
We've got a video for you here, take a look. It doesn't look particularly good, we have to say. No. McCormick and his team One Pro Cycling were very quick to give a full apology, and they are apparently donating all their prize money to a local charity.
Well, that did actually, as is our want, got us thinking, didn't it, about finish line etiquette and particular do's and don'ts. It's definitely out of order, though, to flick the bird at somebody.
Yeah, it looks awful, doesn't it?
Categoric. But what about when Cav did that?
Well, Matt
got pulled
might need
out
to blur that out.
by his team. Oh, sorry about that.
Tour Roman did a few years ago.
It was, yeah. And what about celebrating second place.
Well, yeah, not disrespectful, maybe, but controversial.
Indeed.
Or is it disrespectful?
Alanis Sierra did that recently in the Trofeo Alfredo
Yes.
Binder, didn't she?
Yeah.
She was clearly delighted, but is it right?
I thought it was quite sweet that she was that pleased with second place.
She was over the
that
moon,
she
wasn't
gave
she?
an equal amount of celebratory hand gestures
I know.
as the winner.
I totally get that, but equally, like, poor old Corin Rivera, you know, her biggest win, and as the winner of a bike race, you know, you're almost entitled to that beautiful photo of you with your arms in the air, you know, and everyone else just riding casually over. It's, you know, it's like a right, isn't it?
What
And
are
so she
your
was
views then
denied
about
that.
teammates celebrating in the distance behind a sprinter's win?
Well, I don't want to seem like a stickler in the mud, but actually, I don't really like that either. And I don't really like people banging the handlebars. If you've been beaten, you've been beaten. It's not like, oh.
What about if you
blast.
win and you get off your bike and raise it above your head like Philippe Gilbert did?
That's quite
I
cool.
was a bit,
I
I
quite
don't
like
know.
I thought there's a rule against that, I have to say.
I thought you might get disqualified.
Anyway, let us know what you think is acceptable and not in the comment section down below.
That's right. Now we will round out Cycling Shorts with some really positive news that has come out of some really tragic news, and that is following the death of Steve Tilford recently, the legendary US bike racer. USA Cycling have now announced that they are setting up a memorial fund at the request of his family that will focus on their anti-doping efforts, and specifically, and I need to read their statement here, programs which encourage juniors to appreciate and respect the benefits and ideals of fair competition and fully understand the risks and downsides to doping. So that is a program with excellent aims there, and definitely ones that would square up with Steve Tilford's own.
No, definitely.
Caption of the week now. This was the photo we gave you last week, where you can, as always, win a GCN bottle. That's right. And the winner we selected out of all the captions was this one from Ozzy Capite, who said, "When I said I'll see you at the bar, this wasn't what I meant."
Very good. Get in touch with us on Facebook via a message and we'll get a bottle out to you as soon as possible. This week's photo is this one, Rigoberto Urán. And we, as ever, shall get you started. Could you do that then, Matt?
Come on, mate, what's your best shot?
You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me?
All right, that's enough. If you can do any better than that, please leave your captions in the comments section down below.
That's quite good, actually.
It was good, Matt. I was being
Just back to the other one, a little point. I just think that chap's name is Ozzy Capite. I think he's a Liverpool fan from Australia.
Always correcting each other all the time this week.
Do you know what the time is?
It's not chainkeeper time, is it? Not
yet.
No. It's coming.
It's time for. Excuse me a minute.
Where's he off to?
GCN's Watty Bazooka! This week's Pro Watty Bazooka goes to Davide Formolo of Cannondale Drapac for his attack at the back end of Liège-Bastogne-Liège over the top of a previous attack by teammate David Villela on the top of the Côte de Saint-Nicolas and nearly holding off the bunch. I thought he was going to stay away to win.
Yeah,
he didn't win, but that really animated the back part of that race, which can sometimes be a little bit negative.
Yeah.
Great rubber.
We should point out that we're not going to give it to the most obvious person each week. Otherwise, that very much would have gone to Anna van der Breggen.
That's right, yeah.
It would.
Sorry, she's already won Amstel, Flesch and Liège. She just doesn't need a Watty Bazooka.
She just needs to come second
greedy.
and she could get one.
Yeah, basically.
Right, this week's viewer Watty Bazooka goes to Rebecca Beecroft, nominated by her boyfriend Freddie. She's only been into cycling for a month, but the other day she managed to get herself up the Kerber Edge climb, which is number 35 in the top 100 climb list,
Kerber,
over a mile at an average gradient of 11%. So very well done to
Absolutely,
Rebecca.
fair play.
Yeah, right, if you'd like to nominate a friend or yourself for a Watty Bazooka this time next week, make sure you use this hashtag on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram. Hack /bodge of the week time now. We'll start off with this one from Michael Clifford. Mirrors on aluminium tube. That also works for accessories to free up hand space. I can see that does a job.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to say bodge.
Well, I don't know. No, he's done a nice job, look. He's got different kind of bar tape on there.
I'm not saying he didn't put some effort in.
I'd probably get tangled up in that.
I think, yeah.
That'd be straight off.
I'm going to say hack, you say bodge. All right, then. We've got this one sent in from Ross Blaney. Aero
amazing.
bodge. I think you might be right. Remarkable looking aero handlebars there. That's quite a cool place to mount your grip shift.
Yeah.
I can imagine
Why do you actually hold on the bars, though? Anyway.
Yeah,
it's like
good point,
Batman's
actually.
TT bike, isn't it?
That's the
basically
fatal flaw of those handlebars. You can't hold on to them.
Well, we got this one up on Instagram from Greg Senna. Hack or bodge, homemade truing stand from hardware store, odds and ends, a couple of clamps and a very nice dial indicator.
Oh yeah,
that's actually quite pro, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before people point out our mistakes again, no, that was actually on Facebook, not Instagram.
I did that on purpose. It's a deliberate mistake.
Right, next up from Joey_AU. This guy just needs to get a new front light, and I would be inclined to agree with you there, Joey.
Is that just a load of sellotape?
Just hanging on by sellotape.
Probably help with his waterproofness though. That's one bomb-proof light. Now this is strange. This is sent in by FDHSW. I found that he couldn't fit his TT bars on his new Aero bar only a week out from the Healer 2017 time trial. So he's made use of the fact that he has a clearly enormous steerer on his bike, added another stem entirely, and stuck his aero bars on there. Yeah. It's an ingenious solution, but we've got to ask, why is so much steerer hanging out the top of your bike?
Well, we asked the same thing about Matt.
It's not very aero,
didn't we?
Yeah, that's a good point,
I think I'm correct in saying this next one is from Instagram. Any offers? That's Instagram,
I believe that's Instagram.
Thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
Instagram,
this is from Manders1301. This has got to be one of the best, worst bodges I've ever seen in my 8 years in the biz with a Z. It's a Trek 3700 V-brake frame with disc modification.
Oh,
look at that.
That is quite some hack.
I would agree that disc brakes could be dangerous in that particular situation.
Yeah, imagine if that thing breaks loose, it can decapitate anyone's
bodge.
By,
definitely bodge. I like this one from Stan Ned. He said, I came across my extremely small first ever bike, and his granddad made him a custom seat post because he couldn't reach the pedals yet, as they're located at the front wheel.
That's genius.
How cool is that?
That's no way is that UCI legal with that seat position though. Sorry.
Well, no, because the bottom bracket, presumably the pedals are attached to the front wheel, so it is. It's a UCI legal hack, yeah.
Blimey, stand corrected.
Genius, yeah.
Built-in suspension as well.
Yeah, Grandad kept it on legit as well.
Right, what are we finishing with, Si?
Oh my days, how have I ended up with this? Okay everyone, it's time now for Chainkeeper of the Week. Guess your Dan Laurie
special one.
This one is from Cyclocross Minded. It is the world's first, as if one was needed, chainkeeper for through axle bikes.
Ooh.
That's right. So the chainkeeper just threads on to that drive side through axle.
Definite hack, enough said.
Totally
How can you
exclusive.
hack something that you just don't need?
Exclusive.
Keep them coming.
That's right.
Hashtag GCN hacks for chainkeepers and other hacks and bodges.
No more chainkeepers. No more chainkeepers.
Other stuff, preferably.
Comment of the week now, and the first one comes underneath Si's look at the Mavic Comet shoes. Fictitious with a Z says that awkward moment when Simon tried his best shot at French but got replies in perfect English.
Yeah. Bonjour. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça?
This is a reinforcement. It goes into the tongue and it protects the foot from being hurt by the cables.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good effort, French.
likes.
Can't help it when they speak better English, can you?
Yeah, no, that was an awkward moment. I always try my best, but hey.
Well, next up we had this comment underneath the news show, and it was from Niels Heldens. Gilbert tore his kidney, not his liver. Kidney.
You have already pointed out Si's mistake.
Well, hang on a minute. You say my mistake. You wrote it.
You said it.
You wrote it. I'm like Anchorman. I just read what I see, or say what I read. In fact,
keep those comments coming in the comment section down below. On the channel this week, on Wednesday, it's a bit of a double header. We asked the pros what's the furthest they've ever ridden, and we look at etiquette for sportif riders. Whilst on Thursday, we have our top 8 GC riders look out for at the Giro.
It's another double header on Friday. As per usual, we've got Ask GCN Anything, but it is also the day where we will be showing you our big GCN preview of this year's Giro d'Italia, and it is the 100th edition of the Giro, so make sure you watch out for that. Saturday's pro bike is Romain Bardet's Agi Désert La Mondiale Factor bike, which Matt looked at in Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah, nice. Look forward to that. Sunday, we investigated what does wheel depth matter, if at all, on a climb. And then on Monday, it is, of course, another maintenance vid. This time, it's roadside maintenance hacks, which can potentially get you out of trouble.
And then on Tuesday...
Emerging from hibernation for the first ride of the year from Lake Tahoe, California. Welcome to the GCN Show.
It's time now for Extreme Corner, and this week you may well not believe quite what you're seeing, so make sure you look closely.
Don't believe it.
You ready? That's right, that is Olympic track cycling legend Sir Chris Hoy wheeling a fat bike and doing a pretty admirable job of it too, I think.
Yeah, very good
And needless to say, friend of the channel, of course, but Chris Hoy, the Olympic legend, is planning, get this, to ride that fat bike across, pause, Antarctica.
Whoa! That'll be his longest ever ride by some margin, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's a big contrast to the riding he's generally known for, isn't it?
It certainly is.
I like that he kept his reflector on his fat bike as well. Safety first there. Safety first, yeah.
Okay, before we finish with the GCN show for another week, you might have noticed that Si and Matt are sporting some rather splendid gold edition GCN t-shirt to celebrate the fact that we did reach over 1 million subscribers around about 1 week ago. They are now available at the shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com, a link to which you can find on the screen somewhere right now.
You're looking good, mate.
Thanks, mate. So are you. Unfortunately, Dan didn't get one because Dan had already taken the entire box of the brand new GCN branded Park Tool bottle openers. I'm not entirely sure I needed all of them, Dan, but anyway, nevertheless, there are some still available on the shop, we gather. In fact, they're all there.
Yeah.
Honestly. And also, pizza cutters. Oh, yeah. Park Tool pizza cutters.
With
looking very cool.
GCN branding on?
Yeah, looking super cool. And also, latest new product, GCN hats.
Or Capolinos, as they're known in Italy.
Right, well, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so by clicking on the globe. We've got another couple of videos which you might want to watch in case you've missed them. Just down there are some tips for beginner sportive riders.
Yeah, or to see a close look at the new Mavic Comet shoes, including that awkward moment where I try my best schoolboy French. That one is just down there.
And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up or 2. No, don't, because then you unclick it, don't you? So just one.
Just
one's
one thumb
enough.
up. Oh,
Otherwise
my
you
word.
undo.
Oh, God.
Sorry.